Our next problem is making sure that we have clearly defined classroom rules and display them for all to see. A great way to do this is to have everyone sign their name to the rule sheet. Try not to have too many rules. A good amount is usually 5 rules, and then let the class, your kids, make up the 6th one. So what are some examples? Let's see. Some of the ones I've used over the years would be don't interrupt, to be kind, to serve others, to always try first, and to do not steal. Do not steal from anyone in the class or yourselves. And then at this point, I'll be reading over the rules. We'll discuss what that means. And then the 6th one, I'll let the kids make them up. And I've had everything from repeating rules that we've just gone over to being respectful or pulling out chairs for people. Kids will make up rules. So you find one that kind of works for you, and then you have everyone discuss it. And you can see I am having trouble writing and talking at the same time. Okay, not easy for me to use the stylus. I think I need some practice with that. Okay, so the kids make number 6 up. And then that gives them ownership of the classroom. And ownership is a powerful thing for your kids. And then you're going to have, of course, after you've done all this, have everyone sign their name to the rule sheet. It encourages good behaviors. And you could also, having it displayed, can refer back to it when someone is breaking one of those rules. Another common problem, number 5, is defining classroom procedures. This is different than classroom rules. Procedures are how things are done. The older my kids got, the more independent work that they have done in the classroom, and I would need them to turn things in for grading. And I just would have them pile it into the basket that I was using, so that I could look over something if they've finished their independent work. And then I might have them clean up their area or sharpen the pencils for the next day. Whatever it is, I would have procedures in place. And I would always teach this on the first day. You model it and you go over it. The biggest thing about teaching that takes time is modeling procedures, because we talked about in segment 1, fragmentation and setting up the expectations that there are. Same thing with modeling. You have to show them what it is that you want them to do if you want them to do it correctly. One of the procedures that we talked about would be borrowing. In the last slide, we talked about a supply box and having someone borrow from it. A lot of people might feel queasy about lending out their supplies, not thinking that they're going to get it back. For this, I always use the left shoe idea. The left shoe idea is, what I have found is an incredible phenomenon with human beings, whether they are small children or whether they are adults. If you take their left shoe when they borrow something from you, they never forget to return it back. Now, I've tried this with mittens, gloves, hats, backpacks, bracelets, something I thought was valuable, cell phones, even in the later generations, and people always forget it. They never return my things, and they always forget their thing that was apparently valuable to them. The left shoe, as soon as they get up to walk out of the classroom to leave, they notice a misstep in their gait, and they go, oh yeah, I better return that to Mrs. Bills. So, left shoe, perfect for borrowing. You borrow something from me, you give me your left shoe, and you never not have a clue. Oh, I know, that's a terrible, terrible rhyme there. The next procedure would be like asking and answering questions. You want to talk about with your kids. Do you want them to raise hands? I've never valued raising hands in a small group. I kind of allow people to talk when they need to talk. The procedure would be, when I'm finished speaking, then you can speak. However, in a larger group, raising hands can be very, very invaluable because people will end up talking over one another. And remember, we talked about our desire to be heard will overrule our politeness. So Have a procedure for asking and answering questions. It could be raising a hand, or it could be waiting for a green flag to talk. The green flag is simply you have maybe a green sheet of construction paper, green bandana, whatever you've got that's green. When you're finished speaking and it's okay to ask questions, have that up in some fashion. Then people know, hey, that's the procedure for when it's our turn to talk, the green flag is showing. If we don't have these kind of procedures in place, you're going to end up with a classroom that is noisy and you're going to need that ear protection. So to avoid that, think about teaching procedures on your first day. Some more procedures that we want to teach in advance are bathroom and water breaks. Bathroom and water breaks are easily handled with a pass or a hand signal. You can have a pass. It might be something that they carry, they just go and pick up, because if you have hand raising going on or you have somebody interrupting, little ones interrupting, Mommy, I got to go to the bathroom, you're going to disrupt your flow and your momentum and your smoothness of the teaching moment. So have them just kind of give you a hand signal. The one that we use are 2 fingers up. 2 fingers up means I've got to go to the bathroom. It's understood. You show me that. I know that when you're leaving the room, you're not just completely bored with my talking. You got to go to the bathroom. Problems with another student. Brothers and sisters, sisters and sisters, brothers and brothers, co-op settings. When humans interact with humans, we have problems that arise. So we have to teach how to deal with those problems. And it is not when I'm teaching. There should be a procedure that we teach about an airing a grievance period. Granted, there might be something that immediately needs to be stopped, but if we teach a prior procedure, then it cuts down a lot of little things. The waiting period after instruction is the time when we can talk about grievances. If it really can't wait and they're so frustrated, I've found that if you have some sort of colored paper, in our home we use a yellow slip of paper, in the co-op classrooms I teach, there's a yellow slip of paper, and if it's really, 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 really annoying, the ones that can write will grab a yellow slip of paper out of the supply box and they'll write that grievance down. If it is little ones that cannot write, they'll have the yellow slip of paper as a Mrs. Bills, I have 2 yellow slips of paper that I got to talk to you about after class. And it's just it's a nonverbal way of letting me know that there's a grievance that needs to be aired.